What's happening, guys? We are back here again today for another video on our Audi RS3 series. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If this is your first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. We've got an excellent library of automotive content. Your support is much appreciated. So as far as our topic of today's video, guys, we're gonna be looking at the Audi RS3 platform and answering the question if Stage 2 is the right move for your build. So as you guys may already know, our project RS3 currently, as it stands, we're looking at Unitronic Stage 1 Plus with the matching DSG tune. We haven't made any hardware modifications yet, so I wanna kind of take the time to sort of discuss the upgrade pathway for this platform. So if you're gonna be going Stage 2, we're really looking at a pretty costly list of parts required to support Stage 2. So you're gonna need some type of intake, you're gonna need an inlet pipe, you're gonna need an intercooler, as well as a downpipe. So definitely looking at several $1,000s worth of bolt-ons, along with a pretty hefty installation, specifically on the downpipe for the RS3. Is a very involved process. Take a look at some videos online if you want to kind of get a better visual representation of everything that goes into this specific install. So you can see with Stage 1, again, we don't have any bolt-on modifications. Running 93 octane, we're looking at around 500 crank horsepower. Now, when it comes to dyno graphs, guys, please bear in mind, there's so many different factors that can affect the final output: quality of fuel, temperature, altitude, humidity. So always make sure to keep in mind that the dyno graph is a useful tool, but it is always going to serve as a tool and a guideline when looking at the comparison before and after. So again, around 500 crank horsepower, very respectable, plenty fast if you want a comfortable daily driver. If you're gonna be doing a nice street build, you don't wanna get too deep in the rabbit hole of a bunch of complicated modifications. Stage 1 Plus is really gonna be a nice place to be. Now moving along to Stage 2, you can see we're looking around 550 crank horsepower, definitely a nice bump. But again, taking a look at the cost, looking at the steep investment that it would take to achieve this, we're gonna get into discussion of, is that going to be worth it? Now, as far as looking at the differences, again, between Stage 1 and Stage 2, Stage 2, 93 full bolt-ons, again, crank horsepower looking around 550. So there is a sizable difference as far as picking up some more gains over Stage 1, but I would really be curious to see actually how much this translates to wheel figures. Now, when looking at the total investment as far as what it takes to go Stage 2, bear in mind if you're gonna be working with higher quality performance parts. For example, Unitronic makes a very high quality catted downpipe, goes for about $2,000. If you're looking at an aftermarket intercooler, you figure about another $1,000 there. You also have to factor in installation. Most people are not going to be doing a downpipe at home. This is definitely not a quick, simple, easy DIY project. If you're just some guy in a garage, you're more than likely going to want to take this to a professional repair facility. I would imagine the labor associated with doing a downpipe, you're probably going to spend around $1,000. You're going to have to lower the subframe. You're going to have to remove the drive shaft. There's a special drive shaft removal tool as well. So it's definitely not something quick and easy. You're going to be probably spending about $1,000, $1,200, I would imagine, looking at the installation for the downpipe. So parts and labor overall, guys, you're gonna be at a bare minimum of about $4,000 to support Stage 2 with these bolt-on modifications. So when you're looking at another 50 horsepower, again, I'm not sure how much that would actually translate to wheel figures. So you're gonna get a lot of different opinions depending on who you ask as far as, is this investment really going to be worth it? I think it's very subjective depending on the type of driving that you're gonna be doing, what your intended purpose is with the car. But again, over $4,000 for maybe another 50 horsepower, it is a hard pill to swallow. Now, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be thinking, but man, that's 93 octane. Of course you're not gonna make that much more power. You're looking at basic pump gas. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Now, for someone like myself, where I don't have E85 fuel readily available, going E85 is not really going to be a viable option. The other really important thing to bear in mind here, guys, is going max effort full bolt-on Stage 2 E85, you're quickly approaching the safe limits of what these engines can take. When all said and done, you're probably looking at getting close to that 550 wheel torque figure. Guys, you're really gonna be pushing these engines to the absolute limit. Now, it's obviously very subjective, guys, as far as people's opinions of what is safe per se. You'll find a lot of times once you get to around that 550 wheel torque mark, you're really gonna be pushing the boundaries as far as what these stock engines can take. So overall factors, guys, again, very steep costs of parts, very labor intensive install, minimal gains on 93. It's really hard to say if Stage 2 is gonna really be worth it on the RS3. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are running on your RS3 or TTRS. I'm always curious to hear your thoughts and feedback. So overall, guys, if you want to build a really fast, fun daily driver, a great street car, it goes without saying, the Audi RS3 is going to do extremely well with the basic Stage 1 tune with no hardware modifications required. You're not gonna have to worry about passing inspection. You're not gonna have to try to reflash the car and put your stock downpipe back on and all this complicated logistics of going back and forth to the shop. Stage 1 is a really nice turnkey solution. You don't have any complicated headaches with dealing with inspection and complicated downpipes and all these different factors. So really tough choice when it comes to looking at Stage 2 and is it going to be worth it for you? Well, thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. I appreciate all the support. Make sure to comment in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more projects. We've got a lot of exciting things to look forward to with the Project RS3 build series. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.